You've been sold a lie, and it's costing you hundreds of pounds every single season. The golf industry has convinced you that in order to play decent golf, you absolutely must carry 14 clubs. But as a former corporate treasurer and now a Big Four finance consultant, I make a living finding financial waste. And your golf bag is full of it. So today we're going to audit the standard 14 club bag. I'm going to show you the real data from amateur golfers that proves most of your clubs barely get used. Then at the end, I'll reveal the exact lean setup I use to play off an 8 handicap without overspending on gear. Let's look at the numbers. In finance, we talk about asset utilization. If you buy a £150 machine and never turn it on, that's just a terrible investment. In golf, most amateurs are doing exactly that with their long irons. Arcos Golf analyzed over 540 million shots from everyday golfers. They found that traditional long irons are basically disappearing from amateur bags. Why? Because people just don't hit them. Arcos also showed that a putter alone makes up roughly 35 to 40% of all shots for the average player. And the driver is one of the most used full swing clubs of the team, as you would expect. This isn't my opinion. This is shot tracking over millions of rounds. So the reality is your putter, your driver, and your scoring wedges and short irons do the heavy lifting. What fills the rest of the bag for most amateurs, just a messy cluster of 4, 5, 6, and 7 irons, plus hybrids that all go basically the same distance. Because if your swing speed isn't high enough, your yardage gaps just compress. You're paying hundreds of pounds per club for overlapping numbers. Why does the industry push the traditional 14 club so hard? Margin. A full iron set plus multiple hybrids plus 3 wedges, that's a big ticket at the end of the day. They sell to your fear. Oh, but what if I have 165 yards and don't have the perfect club? But here's the truth. Most amateur golfers do not have a precise 165-yard club. They have a 150-yard swing that sometimes go 165 if the wind helps, if it's flushed. In finance, we'd call this the illusion of precision. You think owning more tools gives you tighter controls. In reality, it just gives you more ways to make bad decisions. So on the course, that means more time standing over the ball, thinking, is this a 6 iron, a 7 iron, a soft 5? The more you hesitate, the worse your strike. Now, quick pause. Unfortunately, I don't get free clubs sent to me. I buy my own gear just like you do. So I have zero interest in you owning more clubs than you actually use. If you want honest free golf and money talk from someone who lives in both worlds, hit subscribe. We're going to keep exposing this kind of waste and help you build a bag and a golf budget that actually works for you. So what's the alternative? You noticed I have 2 bags here. So think of your golf bag as an investment portfolio. You don't keep assets that underperform. You cut them out as soon as possible. So I run a confidence-only portfolio in my bag. If I stand over a club and feel even a 10% spike in anxiety because I'm not confident, it's fired. It stays in the garage. The sunk cost fallacy says, oh, I paid £200 for this hybrid, so I have to use it. No, you don't. That's exactly how people ruin both their scorecards and their bank accounts. So here's what I actually carry as an 8 handicap with no simulator, no fancy fitting studio on tap, just honest golf. I carry only 8 club. That's it. Driver, a fairway wood, either 5 wood or 7 wood, depending on the course. Currently a 7, but never both. 6 iron, 8 iron, 9 iron, and pitching wedge. a 56-degree sand wedge, and a putter. That's my entire golf bag. So instead of buying more clubs, I create gaps by changing the shots and learning to shot chip, not buying another 150-pound piece of metal. I choke down, I take more or less club, I hit little 3/4 shot, I avoid the hero shot. This bag is lighter, cheaper, and it forces me to play smart, repeatable golf, avoiding the big scores. Since I've switched, I've gone from a 12 handicap to a 8 handicap because I've removed the disaster clubs and the disaster decisions leading to triple and quadruple bogey. The 14 club setup might work for tour players, but for most amateur, it's an overpriced illusion. Protect your capital, protect your scorecard, and if you want to see exactly how I use this 8 club bag round by round, that video is coming next week. Before I go, if you're serious about paying less and playing more golf, I put together the Frugal Golfer's Complete Playbook. It's a full guide that takes you from sorting your financial foundations all the way through cutting your green fees by up to 60%, never paying full price for gear again, and building a guilt-free golf budget you can actually stick to. It covers everything. Tailored for the UK and the US, there's a 30-day action plan, an annual budget blueprint, the 10 Frugal Golfer rules, all in one place. The link is in the description below. Go check it out. And if you've ever felt guilty about what golf cost you, this guide fixes that. See you in the next one.